And welcome back to Follow Through. We got a busy show for you today. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Follow Through Show, Twitter at FT Through Show, Facebook at Follow Through, and you can email us at followthrough.podcast@gmail.com. Facebook is for your parents. Don't forget that. You make sure to follow Eli at Eli McCoy61. You can follow Clay at Clay2Mac and me at DaxandCrow_ on Instagram. We're going to be talking a little bit about the NFL, college football, and then a little bit of a random topic show today because, you know, sports is boring. It's the dead time of year.
It is.
Welcome to the Follow Through Show. We're hoping you're having a great day today. I am. Boys, how are you doing?
Dax, I'm doing great. Clay?
I'm always good. Let's get ready. Let's get this thing rolling. Ready to get into it.
I'm still throwing you off pretty good, aren't I?
I know. I wanted to go back to you. I was processing.
It's fun for me. This is what I have fun with. Well, we're going to continue our march into picking all of our divisions for the NFL right before season starts. It's that time of year. And you know what else is coming up soon? Fantasy football. And I can't wait to start updating y'all on our fantasy football league.
We got our picks.
It brings everything in. I've got the 7th pick, which is the worst pick I've ever had in a fantasy football league we've played in together.
I'm sitting at the 5th. I'm happy with that.
I'm sitting at number 3.
My offer still stands $15 and my pick.
I think I'll take my number 3 pick because if I win the league, I get a lot more than $15.
Hypothetically.
Dax did get a tough draw.
Yeah,
tough pick for Dax.
Yeah, I mean.
The 7 and 8 rank. What do you have? 5?
5.
That's pretty good.
I'm there.
We'll see how it goes.
5's better than mine. 4 is the best pick in my opinion.
I agree.
I think 4 is the best pick all the time.
Totally agree.
That's what I was hoping for. I didn't want, I've had one like 2 years in a row. About 4 years ago, I had
you did
2 or 3. My ones, the year that I had one, I picked David Johnson Jr., broke his wrist on the first week.
Good.
And then Le'Veon Bell, who sat out pretty much the whole season.
Well, I had
So I hate picking a running back
I had
first.
first picks back-to-back years. First year I took Saquon. I think he played maybe 3 games, maybe 4 games.
Yep.
Then I had it again back-to-back. I was like, oh, see, I'm getting the Lord's been good to me because
He's blessing you
I got
this
screwed
time.
over last year. Turns out I drafted McCaffrey, of course, and he played 3 games. So tough year for McGuire's Muskrats again. Hoping to make a rebound year.
Are you sticking with the McGuire Muskrats this
It
year?
might be time for a rebrand. It hasn't worked here recently.
It has been bad.
I've rebranded. I'm officially becoming the fantasy football team.
I like that.
After Washington.
Yeah. Well, I thought about between that or like the fantasy football club, go a little bit of a soccer way. By the way, soccer, real quick topic. This is when you know sports is really slow. Did you know that the tissue that Messi used in his press conference sold for $1 million?
No
That's
way.
just ridiculous.
His tissue that he used
Why are we the way
sold
we
for
are?
$1 million.
Why are we the way we
Somebody
are?
out there bought that.
What are they doing with it? I actually don't want to know what they're doing
Actually,
with it. I really don't want to know what they're doing with it.
again.
You don't want to do it. Well, let's go ahead and talk this way too early. AFC East predictions. I don't know how we allowed the AFC East to be the last one, or the one before the best division in the AFC. So let's just go ahead and roll into it, Eli.
Looking at these numbers are really tough because I don't like this division very much other than the Patriots, and these numbers are really generous.
You like the Patriots out of this division
Over Buffalo?
over
No,
Buffalo?
I'm saying as a team that I would.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
Be interested in
you
or
were
look at.
insane.
All right, so we'll start out in alphabetical order by city.
Of course.
Buffalo Bills. Theirs is sitting at 11, so they had to get 12 to go over.
Over and my winner.
Okay,
Easy.
let me type that in.
Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback in the league. They pretty much returned the whole team. He's got his weapons back. I mean, the only issue they may have is if one of them catches COVID, since
Yeah.
a bunch of them are not getting vaccinated. But other than that, I mean, they're really not changing much than what they had last year. They got the same coordinator coming back, which you don't get often in the NFL. I really feel like they're just going to take another step into being the team that could beat the Chiefs in the AFC this year.
I think, now I could be completely wrong, but off the top of my head, I would think the Chiefs are a 12-win team, and the other team would be the Bills, would probably be a 12-win team. So I'll go over as well. Not a very good, a decent division, a lot of mediocre teams with a lot of young talent, but got a long way to go, and Buffalo just seems like they're kind of ahead of everybody else in that division. So I'll take Buffalo with over 12.
And plus with him
Or
taking
over
that
11.
team-friendly contract too this past season, I mean, he's still making his bag, don't get me wrong, but his contract's team-friendly, so they're going to be able to stay around for a while. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much to change there.
Yeah, I've got them in over, but I thought, getting to 12 is going to be tough. Adding the game helps, but 12-win teams are hard to pick.
It's hard to remember that there's a game added.
Yeah, for sure. The next team is Miami Dolphins. Theirs is at 9.5 wins. I've got the under on them. I don't believe in them at all. Defense played well last year, kept them in a bunch of games. Can they get a quarterback and an offense that can, hang with the rest of them? I don't know.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this team won 10 games exactly last year, I think.
Yeah, you got that on stats?
Yeah, they did. They won
10 last
6,
year.
Yeah.
Again, defense carried a lot of those wins, especially when they made the quarterback change with Fitzmagic and the Tua. Tua, this is his first full season. We'll see. Off the top of my head, I'm going to take the under as well. I don't see this team being better than they were last year. It's going to be hard for the defense to do that again, especially for a whole season, because last year they didn't have to do it for a whole season. They had to do it for maybe the last half whenever they made the switch.
Right.
This year, if Tua is the same way he was, which was not very good last year, I'll be honest, I'm an Alabama fan, but he was not good. And I understand his first year he's injured, but if he's that same quarterback, then I don't see this team winning 10 games. Or what was it at, 9?
9.5.
Yeah, I don't see him winning 10. I'll go under.
Yeah, I'm going to pound them on the under here. I think they're my third best team in this division. Honestly, I don't – their defense is really good, and I do like their coach, but I just do not trust the quarterback situation whatsoever. I don't like Tua as an NFL quarterback. I think he was a special college quarterback. I just don't believe that he has what it takes to cut it in the NFL. I think he's going to be a real good career backup. So, therefore, I have them as my third best team, so I'm going to pound the under. I think they'll get 6 or 7 wins this season.
The next team is the New England Patriots, 9.5. This is the biggest question mark to me because you have Bill Belichick, you have this Patriots brand. We all know that they've been legendary throughout the past decade or so, but you saw what happened last year. So 9.5 seems very generous to me. I've got the under.
The under. I'm going to take the over just because of the fact I can't see Bill Belichick having another season like he did last year. And I get the quarterback. I imagine Cam will go out there week 1. We'll see where that goes. The room for error for Cam, I would say, is very small, though, because it seems like they're very high on Mac. But Bill Belichick has never started a rookie quarterback, so I doubt he does that this year. I don't know. It's really just – it's not anything about the team in general. It's just Bill Belichick being Bill Belichick, and I can't see him having another losing season. It's just – so I'll take the over.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over, too, based on the fact that 10 wins is the new 9 wins with this season.
Right. You're right.
And so
that's so confusing.
For me, this is a 9-win team in the old schedule. Now I just think that's a 10-win team. I'm with Clay that, Belichick, you just don't see him having that. I think Cam, if he plays the whole season, is going to have a better season than he did last season just because they were fighting. I think half their team sat out because of COVID. And then you've got a lot of injuries that they had. Plus, everyone forgets the first day of free agency, they dropped a fat check and brought in a ton of players.
They did get a lot of
and very good talent. So I think they're going to be good. I hope to see N'Keal Harry, if they're still fighting on that trade situation, him to step up into this team on offense this year. But I really want to see Mac Jones become the starting quarterback. I think that he looked really good in the preseason. I think he's going to fit him perfectly. I think he's going to be a better version of what they drafted with Jimmy Garoppolo. I know that's a lot because Jimmy G's been to a Super Bowl, but I think that's where he is kind of I guess what would my grade of him to compare him to another player. So look for them to step up, get 10 wins, and it being 9 of like the old schedule.
Dax, the point that you made about the 9 wins being 10 now has completely changed my mind.
You going over?
That one statement. I looked at this earlier. I was like under. But you're right because it adds a game that becomes your 9 and was it 9 and 7?
You're 9 and 7. Now you're looking at a 10 and 7 team.
You're looking at a 10 and 7 team where that's what it was. And I'm going to go 10 exactly, no more than that.
Yeah,
I will take the over.
And that's where I'm taking it. Like if it would have been
that is a great
right,
point.
Yeah, if it had been right at like 8.5, it's an easy go over.
Yep.
But like for me, if this was last season, I would have taken an under because I would have think they win 9 games, but they can't win 9.5.
It's hard to remember. I know they're 17, but 10 is the new 9, so I'm going to go with over at 10, no more than that.
One last thing. Then you were talking about Mac, and as if you don't know, I'm a huge Mac fan, but I'm a realist, and I do think Cam will start. I don't know where that goes, but I will say this about Mac. What I always look at from rookie quarterbacks, and we talked about this in the last podcast, is composure. And it looked like we said all 5, and I know it's preseason, but it looked like all 5 looked like they were very composed and comfortable. And I think Mac proved that throughout college. And the game that sticks out to me more than any of them was the Iron Bowl that Auburn beat Alabama, and he threw 2 pick sixes and then came back the next drive and led 2 touchdown drives. that just shows and I think that's the biggest thing an NFL quarterback can have is composure.
Yeah.
You can have the talent, and I know he's not that athletic, but if you're composed as an NFL quarterback and don't fold under pressure, you have the tools to succeed. So that's just one last thing. We'll see where it goes.
Especially when you're in a faster-paced league as well, where everybody's top near talent when you're not running into your Akrons or your Colorado State.
But I do think Cam will be the starting quarterback week 1.
I mean, I think it'll be week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. But I think you can see him coming in later in the season.
The last team is the Jets. Zach Wilson, but that puts him at 6 wins. I've got the under. I don't see him winning 6 because they'd have to win 7.
No, under. There's no way.
It's at 6 wins.
Mm-hmm. If it was 5.5, maybe 6. But
there's no way.
Not 7.
So if it was at 5.5, I'm taking the 6. I really like Salah. I think he's a good coach. I think what he's going to do is special. But what a lot of people, and rest in peace, Greg Knapp, that's going to be a big impact into the season, I think, for this Jets team. Now, they're going to want to play for him, but I think they'll only get 5 wins. I don't see them taking this drastic jump this year.
I agree. Maybe in the soon, but not this year.
And out of all the 5 quarterbacks, that's probably the one I'm the most unsure of. Just because it seems like all the other 5, except Trevor Lawrence, but his talent can kind of take. I mean, it doesn't matter because he's so talented. He don't have to have a great team, but Zach Wilson does not have a good team.
No.
And so we'll see how it goes. He's kind of at a disadvantage from the other 4. Now, he doesn't have to fight for a spot as hard as like Mac Jones and Trey Lance are, but I don't know. We'll see. I think that's the one I'm most unsure of. And if there's one to have like a flop season, I would probably say that's the one I would pick to have it.
And a point I want to make that a lot of other people were talking about, everybody acted like, the Jets last year who were clearly tanking for Trevor were bad. But I just don't think that Jaguars team that ended up getting the number 1 overall pick was that bad. I think they just intended to get the number 1 overall pick.
They beat Indianapolis week 1.
I think they easily could have been an 8 or 9 win team last season. I think they could have won 8-8.
You wonder about that stuff.
I seriously think they just wanted Trevor and that they could step up and have a really good season.
Well, I know for sure down the line it became that way. I don't know about early on, but yeah, I mean they on paper they're not bad.
They're not terrible. Yeah, that's where my whole point is.
They're better than the Jets, honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
We all have the Bills as our champion.
Yes.
Okay. Good. That's just
that's it.
That's just easy. All right. Well, sports trivia is making a little bit of a comeback this week after the unsuccess of last time. And I came up with this one. Didn't even tell the guys about it. NFL, name the backup quarterback. So I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams. I'm going to give you 4 names with each team, and there's 1 correct answer.
And this is present day.
Present day.
Okay.
Dolphins.
I don't know.
Davis Webb, Brian Hoyer, Jacoby Brissett, and Josh McCown.
Brissett. It's Brissett. I think we should play the buzzer game, honestly.
Yeah,
says
we definitely should.
And I said Brissett first.
He did.
That is correct.
1-0.
1-0.
I knew that.
1-0 Clay.
Former Colt.
I would have never gotten
QB
that.
sneak legend. Fourth and short legend right there.
Bengals, Brandon Allen, Delvin Hodges, Trevor Siemian, and Josh McCown.
Brandon Allen.
You got a buzz.
Buzz Brandon Allen.
That is correct.
All right, maybe we shouldn't play this game. At least give Eli a chance. Please don't answer until after I finish all the names.
I finished
4 names.
I waited till you. I waited till he finished on the Bengals.
This is the one.
I want to hear the 4th name.
This is the one that if you don't get, I'm going to hound you the rest of your life. Titans.
Oh,
I don't think I know the Titans.
Blaine Gabbert, Logan Woodside, Nathan Peterman, and Josh McCown.
Buzz. What was the first one he said?
First.
Oh, okay.
Whatever the first one was.
Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
You sure about that answer?
Yes.
Wrong.
You're not a Titans fan.
I don't care about the backup.
I guess the Webb dude. I don't know.
Webb's not one of them.
Say him again.
Blaine Gabbert, Logan Woodside, Nathan Peterman, and Josh McCown.
Woodside.
That is correct.
You suck at
I knew
this.
Peterman wasn't it, and
I knew Peterman wasn't
I
it.
think McCown is he retired
and
now?
I knew the Whiteside wasn't
Nope.
it.
All right. Chargers. So right now, currently, we stand at 3-0, Clay. Chargers.
I thought I knew this.
Josh Rosen, Charlie Whitehurst, Chase Daniel, and Josh McCown.
Dang it.
Chase Daniel.
That is
I knew that one.
correct.
Dadgummit.
Good.
Good job, Eli. Welcome
you.
to the board.
Thank you.
Giants. Matt Barkley, Mike Glennon, Nate Sudfeld, Josh McCown.
Got it.
Bro, he's just
right.
sitting there waiting for the
From
last
now on,
one.
we're going to go with Buzz. You have to say the word Buzz.
Okay. It was A.
Your hand is like this far over the table.
I mean B. Whoever was B.
I'm going to need a name.
Read them again.
Matt Barkley,
No.
Mike Glennon,
Yes.
That is correct.
I didn't know that one.
All
I
right,
gotta say Buzz now.
Lions.
It's 3-2.
Sean Mannon, C.J. Beathard,
Oh, I know
Tim Boyle, Josh McCown.
Buzz.
Wait, no, that's not who I thought any of those were.
5.
C. Read them again.
He doesn't even. He's just saying
Okay,
Buzz.
from
He
now,
doesn't even
if you
know
say
the
the letter C, your answer will be unqualified. Listen,
I just don't know which order
Sean
they're in.
Mannon, C.J. Beathard, Tim Boyle, Josh McCown.
Boyle.
Wrong.
Dang it.
Can you please repeat them?
Thank you. Thank you. That's just respectable. Sean Mannon, C.J. Beathard, Tim Boyle, Josh McCown.
C.J. Beathard.
That is correct.
I thought they had what from
yeah.
LSU. What was his name?
Danny Etling,
Yeah, is he not there? He might be the third string.
he got cut. I
Oh,
think.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace to Tebow as well.
Yes, rest in peace, Tim Tebow.
Pain.
Falcons. Are your
Buzz.
ears ready?
Buzz.
I know these.
Buzz. Buzz.
The names have to be read.
Dang it.
And the name has to be completely out of my mouth. AJ McCarron, Danny Etling, Jeff Driscoll, Josh McCown.
Buzz.
I got it. I got it.
My name, McCown was not out of my mouth
That's
completely.
cap. Rock, paper, scissors.
AJ McCarron. Yeah, there we go. Rock, paper, scissors that isn't on screen.
Oh yeah, AJ McCarron.
Correct.
Felipe Franks is actually the correct answer.
That is correct.
He played better than AJ
McCarron will be
McCarron.
the third string.
AJ McCarron played like garbage.
I thought we were
in the
doing
preseason
backups,
game.
Dax. McCarron's third string.
No, he was second string
No.
up until
Third string.
his.
He's third stringer.
You're hurt that you suck at sports trivia.
It's okay, Eli. What's the score now? Like 5-2.
All right.
It's abusing, is what it is. Cardinals. Colt McCoy,
Ooh.
Brett Hundley, Nick Mullins, Josh McCown.
Buzz.
I thought I had it.
Josh
Ye-
McCown.
Y'all can play.
Let's do it again. No, let's not do it again.
I'm gonna pick Josh McCown. I don't think that's right.
All right. Josh make a pick.
Ask him to read.
Mullins. It's Nick Mullins.
I thought Mullins was the 49ers.
Wrong.
I guess for both of you.
I knew it wasn't McCown. I just
Colt
forgot.
McCoy is your backup
No,
quarterback
I
for
thought
the
I thought it was
Cardinals.
the other one.
Colt McCoy was a dog.
Brett Hundley?
I guess I didn't know who it was. No, Hundley's at the Colts now.
You
Oh,
thought
Mullins is at the 49ers.
Nick Mullins. He's at the 49ers.
Yeah.
All right.
Colt McCoy.
Final
Better not get hurt.
question. Yeah. Because
Kyler better not
you
get
might as well
hurt.
go ahead and scratch off your backup too about getting
tough.
hurt. All right, your Seahawks: Matt Moore, David Blau, Geno Smith, and Josh McCown.
Buzz. Geno Smith.
Ah, shoot.
Your answer is unqualified because I
Thank you,
said
Geno
Josh
Smith.
McCown.
I won anyways, so.
Geno Smith. Thank you.
Eli's correct. I want you to pick up the running joke that the last name on every list was Josh McCown.
I knew he was retired.
5-3.
He is retired.
You picked
correct?
McCown once.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I just thought maybe I was wrong.
I thought I'd have fun and throw him in on every list
is
because he's
funny,
played for
Dex.
every team.
I just
That's
knew.
funny.
I knew Hundley got signed by the Colts the other day.
Well, that's been sports trivia.
3-5.
Another win. Has he not won any of this?
I'm not upset about that. I don't care about.
Technically, it was 6-2. I just disqualified myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
5-3.
Backup quarterbacks, they're a big deal.
They really are. Trust me. I know. My team has 3 of them. Or 2 of them.
Dang.
2
that
qualified.
picture of that picture of them standing beside each other with their 2 coaches with their hands like.
My team's going to start a backup quarterback week 1.
You could argue that my team has the most starting quarterbacks in a quarterback room in the league this year. Andy Dalton,
The Bears.
Justin Fields,
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
That's true.
The Bears. The Bears.
That was perfect.
All right.
We did that
Nice.
perfectly in sync.
Well, we're going to continue our march in the ESPN College Football Preseason Top 25 with 5 through 9 today.
Let's get it.
Number 9,
I'm
a team that somehow always makes it here.
Let's let Eli kick this one off
Yeah.
for us.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
I told them this
10-2 last
pre-show.
season.
I don't care what they were last season or the season before. This team is my. I hate them. I hate them. I've sat down on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, year after year, and wanted a good ball game. And every year, you know who's not good? You know who's always letting me down for a good ball game?
Notre Dame.
The Fighting Irish. I do not care what their record was last season, who they play this year. Get them out of anything. D2, those guys. They are awful. Terrible.
Oh, man.
I hate Notre Dame. They waste 3 hours of my day every single year.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I'll be a little gentler on the Fighting Irish. Of course, they lose their quarterback. What seems like 20 years, Ian Book.
Rest in peace, Father Book.
I was a big Ian Book guy. I know Eli wasn't, but I thought he was a good quarterback. They got to replace that. That's a tough task, honestly. And like Eli said, it's just until they get put in a conference, and they were last year. They got put in the ACC. And they made it to their conference championship and got waxed to a Clemson finally had Trevor Lawrence. They got waxed with him. It's just going to be hard for anybody to respect these guys if they keep putting them in the playoff and just get kicked out as soon as they get in. And it's not like they're competing; they're getting ran out of the water. So I completely agree with Eli. They do have an interesting schedule. A lot of different. I mean, there's teams from all over the place. ACC, Big Ten. You got Cincinnati, Pac-12. You don't have any SEC. Makes sense. But I don't know. I don't see them going undefeated this year. That'd be hard for me to see. I could see them slipping up, probably North Carolina. And Cincinnati's an interesting game as well. I'm ready to watch that one. That one is October 2nd. That'll be a fun game.
Yeah.
Big game for Cincinnati, though.
Yeah, I think they're lost this year. I don't know if they lose to Cincinnati, but I feel pretty confident they're going to lose to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Other than that, their schedule's not hard in the sense of that. Brian Kelly, I think he's a good coach. I just don't think he can coach the big game, and that's always been his little bit of a, struggle, if you'd say. They have a new defense coordinator, Marcus Freeman, who is, fun fact, Cincinnati's former coach. No, I'm off on that. I can't remember what it is. But they brought in a Wisconsin quarterback this year to be their quarterback. They always seem to find a transfer quarterback. I just don't think they're that good. I think the committee is going to hold a grudge against them a little bit of it. As they should, because they've wasted
20-year playoff ban.
You're really mad over there, aren't you?
I waste 3 hours every year, every single year, and I don't get those 3 hours back every time.
So my whole thing is I just think the committee will hold a little bit of a grudge against them for the next couple of years, kind of like what they've done with the Pac-12 a bit, which Pac-12 also hasn't had a team that's been good enough to get an argument in there anymore. But look for them that. I think where they're really going to struggle is when they move to the 12-team format where they said there's no guarantee buy-ins for people of non-conferences.
Yeah.
Good.
That's when you're going to see some issues for them.
And don't get confused whenever you look at their schedule, because a lot of times you'll look at a conference team and they'll schedule a ton of out-of-conference games, and you're like, oh, they're really getting after it on the schedule. They have no choice but to schedule out-of-conference games, and it's not like they're scheduling like hard out of conference.
Yeah, they're
games.
scheduling USC.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State, that would have been good 4 years ago. Now it's just kind of a joke. And so don't get fooled whenever you look at their schedule. They have no other choice. They have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Number 8, the Oregon Ducks, 2020 record was 4-3, and they're the Pac-12 champions.
Okay.
This is ridiculous. Let me go first here.
You got this one.
There goes September 11th. Ohio State is going to do something unholy to the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon Ducks, this would be the description. What Ohio State's going to do is drop a nuclear bomb on the state of Oregon and their football program, and they will be irrelevant for another 5 years. And then you know what? Another 5 years after that, and another 5 years after that. I hate it for you. Your conference is irrelevant too. And the fact that they're ranked over some of these teams in here, North Carolina, heck, even throw Cincinnati in there, for me, even Indiana is ridiculous. There's 20, we've got 24 other teams on this list. I'll take about almost every one of those 24 other teams over Oregon.
See, I would take all 24 of Notre Dame. But I will say this about Oregon. The way that, first of all, Ohio State, yes, they're going to kill them. And then you won the Pac-12 as a 4-3 team, which, like Clay said, with COVID, you can't help that as much. But I'm more sad in this being R8 in college football. and 9. This is our 8 and 9 in college football. Where is everybody gone? Why is Notre Dame 9 and Oregon are 8? That is the saddest part to me.
Yeah, and it's crazy to look back and you look at 4-3 record and then comma Pac-12 champion. That's just, I mean, that's 2020 for you. That's just how it went. Of course, they got Thibodeaux, of course, on defense, who's an absolute stud.
The only thing that makes them relevant.
Yeah, potential to be the best defensive player in college football with Derek Stingley. They'll have a great record because of who they play. Now, if you beat Ohio State, now we're talking and we can start. But we've said it the past 2 episodes, and we're going to say it the 3rd episode. These out-of-conference games for the Pac-12 are huge because you have to make up some respect that you lost last year, not just from the fans, but the playoff committee.
Yes, correct.
So this is a huge year for the Pac-12, and I'm with Dax and Eli. It's hard to respect, and they could be really good, but I'm not gonna respect them until they prove it. Just after
And let me add this
it
too.
transpired last
that
year.
bum Joe Moorhead that they have an offense coordinator, the one who couldn't cut it in the SEC as a head coach at Mississippi State. What are we doing here?
No, I do like Mario Cristobal.
I
but-
like him. I don't mind him.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Now, even when he was rumored to come to Auburn as our head guy, I didn't want him. But
It's just that September 11th, and they circle that game. That's
Yeah.
a huge game.
September 11th, and
let's
then go
add-
ahead and scratch off the rest of the season after that.
Let's add another one to this list. Iowa State at 7. That's just done. I don't
Okay,
like that.
that's
I don't
just
mind-
stupid.
I don't-
That's ignorance. Actually.
No, I'm okay with them, but like when has Iowa State ever been like up there for us? Now there are 7.
the
in
past few
college
years.
football.
They've been good. I think this team's legit. 100%
I
this
don't-
team's legit.
I don't
They're
know.
returning like pretty much their whole
They're black
team.
uniforms though. Totally off topic, but that is a yes. I'm with them on that.
Those are sweet.
I don't know how good of a football team they're going to be. I think they'll have a chance to win the Big Ten.
Brock Purdy's a stud.
Yeah, they brought Purdy and they're returning Brees Hall, who's
Yep,
potentially the
Hall
best
is a
running
dog.
back in the college football. And I think they're, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're returning like 20 out of 22 starters.
I think so too.
And so
Yeah.
I think this team is just going to pick up right where they left off, and I think they're going to compete against Oklahoma again in the conference championship. Now, do I think they'll win? Probably not, because it's the Big 12 and Oklahoma just runs it. But I think they're good, and
I don't think they're not good. I'm just saying like Iowa State doesn't seem like one of those powerhouses, and here they are.
Well, I think they're going to have a big win against Iowa on September 11th, who we also talked about on this list, which gives them a top 25 win early in the season.
September 11th has sounded like a pretty big.
It's going to be a big weekend in
Big
college
week.
football. Yes, correct. And so they went 9-3 last season. I think you look at the same exact record again this season, pretty much. I think Matt Campbell's a great coach. I wish Auburn would have hired him. If we could somehow steal him away.
Matt Campbell has done a heck of a job.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so here's my thing. And if, somehow the Big 12 survives, which they won't when Oklahoma and Texas leave, Iowa State's one of those teams that if you're the Big 10, go ahead and snatch them up now. Because they're just to add more a little bit of more meat to your conference.
The only thing I'll say about this team, and it sucks because I would argue this could be the best team they've ever had. Let's be real. I can't think about.
100%.
I don't know a ton about Iowa
Yeah.
State football history, but in my since I've been alive,
Nothing.
this has been the bit. I've never seen them ranked this high. What sucks for them is that you said they're bringing a lot of people back. What sucks is the team that you lost to in the Big 12 championship last year is also bringing everybody back.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You know what?
Which, if there was a year to win this conference, this would be their year. But, I mean, you couldn't beat them last year, and they really didn't lose much. And they bring back, of course, Spencer Rattler, the stud quarterback. So I'm not saying they can't do it, but it does suck that this is the best team they've had in a while. But they also I would argue this is the best Oklahoma team they've had in a while, to be honest. So we'll see.
Yes.
But I think they can beat them.
They never wasted my time last year, so
That was a good conference championship game too.
yeah. It was
I agree. I remember
very
watching
good.
it. I thought Iowa State was going to win it last year, honestly. To be 100% honest with you, I thought after Spencer Rattler having a really shaky season that he had.
Yep.
Number 6, your Texas A&M Aggies.
Mm.
Eli, would you like to go ahead and give your opinion on this?
I really like them. I've always thought that they would have their year was coming, and it was there last year. They had their really good year. They finished 5th and argued for a playoff spot. Went 8-1. Their only loss was Alabama, correct? I think they won their bowl game,
Should have been in the playoff over Notre Dame.
obviously, but we're not going to say anything else about Notre Dame. They don't deserve any more airtime. A&M, I really like A&M. I love Fisher. I don't really like him personally, but I think he's doing a great job there. And College Station, they're just building a program there. And I knew they would. I've been saying it for a couple of years now. A&M's on the come up, and here they are. They got a chance to do something special this year. Of course, Alabama running into that schedule, that'll be a huge game, and see what they can do with them this year.
Yeah. Again, and playing in the SEC, especially on the west side, you're never guaranteed anything. This team could go undefeated. This team could lose 3 to 4 games. You just never know with that schedule. It's funny we keep bringing this up, but they play Colorado September 11th. September 11th. That's 3 teams in a row that have huge September 11th games, which that's not as big for A&M as it is Colorado.
No.
But that's just proving my point. The Pac-12,
Right.
I mean, they're not going to win all these games, I understand, but, take a few. This team is very good, and they lost Mond, but other than that, it seems like they're getting a lot, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They are bringing a ton back, and it feels like if this – Fisher hadn't been there long, but it feels like this is the best chance he's had to win the West since he's been there, without a doubt.
I agree.
And the West is lined up for him best he's probably ever going to get to.
So, I mean, if they're going to do it anytime soon, this is the best shot they're going to have, I believe, unless they just start bringing in loaded recruiting classes.
Well, and here's the thing as well. You got to think about Ole Miss is on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue Arkansas is on the rise.
I agree.
Mississippi State on the decline. Auburn, I don't know yet.
I agree.
Alabama's there.
Yeah.
LSU, I can't say they're on the decline, but I just don't think they're that great
They're
either.
always going to be a threat because
because they're LSU.
Yes, they are great. They can recruit.
And so here's the deal. And that's going to be kind of the same with Auburn, too. We're just a program that's always just there in that top 4 or 5 spots. This is your year if you're going to win it. If you're going to beat Bama, this is your year. So, I mean, what's crazy? This is the first year they haven't had Kellen Mond since Barack Obama was in office as president.
That's what it
At
feels
quarterback.
like.
No, that's what it is. Like legitimate.
Wow.
That is how long he's been here.
Wow.
Is what I saw a stat. I had to look it up on my phone. If you saw me
2016.
If you saw me hammering my eyes down at my phone, it's because my internet went down on my computer over here.
Okay.
So I was looking on my phone. But Johnny Manziel really pushed A&M to the forefront in the SEC,
And then they crumbled.
Look for Haynes King to be the closest thing you've seen to Johnny Manziel in College Station
Wow.
since Johnny Manziel. I don't know if it's going to be talent-wise that great, but playing style-wise and attitude kind of wise, not as, outlandish as Johnny, but playing style-wise, that's going to be the closest thing you've seen quarterback. Kellen Mond was even a little bit different from Johnny in that sense, but Haynes King is a lot like that. Now, they have a really tight quarterback competition going down right now in A&M. I think he will get the starting position, so look for that September 11th weekend to be a big prover against Colorado. A&M is big about these little opening weekend type deals.
I'm not making any plans on September 11th.
I'm not either.
Right now.
Sorry. I'm busy.
And with Haynes King, yes. My only thing with A&M is when you have a quarterback that's there for that long, some of these guys they don't know anything else other than getting the ball thrown to them by Kellen Mond or playing on the defensive side or playing for Kellen Mond. So that I could see that being a problem. Probably early on, they could slip up early, but talent-wise, they have all the potential.
No doubt.
Probably the second most talented team in the SEC, maybe third with Georgia. We'll see.
And a big key here is they got Bama at College Station this year.
Yep.
You can't.
And
schedule
that's where there's just the cosmos line up and everything just works perfectly. Not saying I think they will beat Alabama, but you got a Bama team that was breaking in a new quarterback this season, and if he doesn't break in, could they potentially be breaking in another quarterback at that point? Because that's week 5, I think, when they play them. So it's all lining up for you. Can you take
week 6?
Week 6, okay. So can you take this step and actually do it? They've given the FPI gave them an 80% chance to win the first 5 games of their season. That's where I got off wrong on it. So I don't know. Number 5, Ohio State Buckeyes.
They're Ohio State. They're going to be great per usual. They're going to go to Oregon on September 11th, another game. They're going to destroy Oregon. I think they'll win the Big Ten again. I don't see much competition out of that. It's just Ohio State. Until somebody gives me a reason to not pick Ohio State, I'm going to pick Ohio State.
I mean, I never thought these words would come out of my mouth, but looking at the Big Ten this year, Dax, I think you'd agree with me. I think Indiana is the biggest threat to take the conference.
That's why.
And
why.
that's just
Look
like that's something that you never thought you would say because you have Penn
Absolutely
State,
not.
Michigan
Yep.
State, and Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa.
Yep.
But it just feels like I don't know. Iowa and Wisconsin just don't feel like they're there. Penn State doesn't seem like they're there. I don't know anything about Michigan. They just I don't care. They
matter.
don't do anything ever. And then Michigan State has not been very good in the past year. So if there's going to be a team to take down the Buckeyes, I think it'll be the Hoosiers.
That's
but
crazy.
And
See,
so-
that's why I'm rolling with Ohio State.
I've said it a few episodes now. Look for Indiana to be the team to potentially win. I'm comfortable to say I think Indiana's going to win the Big Ten this year.
No way.
Really?
I'm at this point.
I'm not that confident.
I'm
sir.
looking at this team. I could be completely wrong because it is Ohio State.
That's going on the Instagram.
Yeah, it's fine. Last year, their defense, their secondary ranked 122 in all FBS programs and pass yards allowed per game. So their defense is going to have to step it up. They're going to be breaking in a new quarterback as well this season.
Could you look in the camera and say that one more time?
I think Indiana will win the Big Ten this year. I just do. They're returning about everyone.
Wow.
And here's the deal. I think Indiana's one of those teams where the Cosmos lined up and they've got it all here. They've got Ohio State at Indiana.
If they win the Big Ten, I'll give you $50.
And here's the deal. It's just something I feel comfortable with there. I mean, CJ Stroud, we have no proving factor that he's going to be a good quarterback. I mean, you do have Chris Olave coming back at wide receiver, but does that do much for you? You have a wide receiver. I think, their running back left, correct?
Yeah, Sermon's gone.
Sermon's gone, so I mean, you have to break in a new running back. I just feel like everything's lining up. It's like, I'm not comfortable saying A&M will win the SEC, and I don't think I'll ever get that comfortable just because when it was long Nick Saban's the head coach at Alabama. But I feel like Indiana's going to win the Big Ten this year.
I'll say this.
I just do.
And I'm not going to put as much faith that Dex just put in that, but I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I would not be shocked at all if Oregon beat them September 11th.
Okay,
I'm not
see,
there
I'm
yet.
completely off on
I'm
that.
not there yet.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think,
Early game.
Can someone give me
that's
somebody
September
give me Ohio
11th.
State schedule
I got it right here.
and read it off to me.
They're going to
Just read me the name, and I'll tell you what I
Gotcha.
think they're going to win and lose.
September 2nd, Minnesota.
Win,
Oregon next at September 11th.
major win,
Tulsa, win.
kill,
Akron,
win,
Rutgers,
win,
Ohio, Maryland,
win,
Golly.
Indiana,
lose. Confidently,
Penn State,
win,
Nebraska,
win,
Purdue,
win,
Michigan State,
win.
and guaranteed win against Michigan because why not?
Nah,
That's at the big house.
it's at the big house.
Don't think it matters.
I don't
but
want to
I wouldn't say-
hear the big house again.
I wouldn't say guarantee because it's a rivalry.
Michigan's up there with Notre Dame. I don't want to hear about the big house. You're like
at Indiana, that game is
I'm telling you, it's at Indiana. Indiana about beat them last year in Ohio State.
that was a heck of a comeback. They were getting
Indiana
destroyed.
is going to have
They're gonna have it packed. They're gonna be
Indiana's
ready
going to
go.
have almost their whole team back, same coaching staff. I just feel like it's one of those things. Cosmos lined up, and Indiana just got them on the right year. They
We
can beat
need
them.
Indiana to be undefeated.
If Indiana is as passionate about football as they are basketball, that's going to be a tough place to play because some
here's
of
the-
their crowds in basketball
Here's
are
the deal:
ridiculous.
they're in the same division, right? Indiana, Ohio State.
Are they?
Yes,
Yes,
If they are, they beat Ohio State once. That's all they got to do.
that's it. You're right.
If you win your other games, you take care of your business. But here's the deal: you got to go undefeated
Yeah.
because Ohio State's not going to lose to any other team besides
Right.
you.
The West is the Big Ten East and the Big Ten West. It's just the drop. It's like the West and the East in football, I guess, and SEC, I guess.
Yes, and that's my whole thing. I just feel like, if Indiana, and that might be where I could probably pull back my statement a little bit of that, I don't know if they can win every game because they've never been a program to do that before. But if you can just handle your business against teams that you should beat, like Ohio State always does, and you just match up with them, I think you can beat them and handle them.
I don't hate it.
And if you follow, if you beat Ohio State, you can afford to lose a game because you have that
it
advantage.
needs to
And,
be a non-conference game.
and nobody. I'm just saying,
What's Indiana's schedule?
a 12-1 Big Ten champion's going to the playoff. That's just how it is. They've just played the same teams basically as Ohio State. They don't have any out.
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
If you beat Ohio State, you can lose. You can lose one.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, you can afford. So that pressure's not as high.
Indiana at Iowa.
Yeah, you can because your head-to-head would match up to
Yeah.
where you have the head-to-head.
That's why A&M was so screwed last year
Yeah.
because they only lost one game.
And it was Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was ugly too.
Indiana and
was bad.
Cincinnati will be a big one.
Yeah. Oh, let's just keep on. That's okay. That's my statement. Indiana's going to win the Big Ten this
I
year.
like it. I'm not completely against it. I can't confidently say it like you did, but maybe down the road. I'll have to
agree.
watch Indiana play a game before I can say that.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess a big injury. I guess you could also say my statement's a little flawed because we don't know what Michael Penix is going to look like after this injury. But I just felt confident in that team if they can return the magic they had last season, that you could look to see them to win. Plus, they have some really cool uniforms.
Almost there, boys.
We're almost there.
Almost there, boys.
We are a week away from my sister's birthday, which is August 28th, or her birthday party. Her birthday's September 1st, which is what I'm marking at September 4th is first week of football.
Yeah.
So we're 2 weeks away.
Next
pretty
week,
much.
September 11th, and apparently that's going to be the best college football week ever because we named like 5 games on September 11th during this.
I know, it's crazy. Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. We're going to keep with the Big Ten news. Nebraska Cornhuskers football and Scott Frost are under investigation. Now, there's a lot of news that is still coming out, so we don't know a lot of things about it, so I'm not going to make a big, broad statement like I know what it is, but if what they're saying is true, you got to be worried if you're a Cornhuskers fan. I don't know what the NCAA is going to give them suspension-wise because I don't really know how you would suspend this because it's not like they were paying players.
Yeah, this isn't a fire like this.
It's in a Fire Frost thing, but it's also like, do you give them a year postseason ban or do you just give them a slap on the wrist of like scholarships? But I mean, here's what they've released. School sources has said significant video footage confirming the practice violations took place in the presence of Frost and other assistants. Frost has obtained legal counsel, and the NCAA has interviewed Frost, multiple current and former staff members, administration, and football players regarding the allegations. Allegations date back to 12 months. The NCAA prohibited organized athletic activities because of the pandemic. Nebraska relocated its strength workouts to an undisclosed off-campus location to avoid detection by non-football school officials.
I just have a hard time believing they were the only team that did that.
I agree too. So
I
where are
have
the
a
other
very
things?
hard time believing that. But I mean, it ain't cheating if you don't get caught. That's what people always say.
That's right.
And that's kind of corrupt, but it's the way it is. Again, I'm completely with Dax. I'm gonna be very light spoken on this because there's so much unknown, and in the world we live in today, there can be a ton of accusations come up and turn out nothing be true. So I'm gonna be very careful in what I say.
Yes.
So I'm not gonna say much at all. It's just
And
if this does come out true, it just seems like, I mean, where do you go from here as a Cornhusker? It's just.
Well, and here's the deal too. If you're smart, if you're a smart human, when anything comes out news-wise, you do your own research with anything that comes out.
Yes.
As a 19-year-old, let me make this statement for some of you 30-year-olds out there.
And 40
Do
and 50 and 60
your
and
own
70.
research when it comes to stuff.
Well, it's the
important decisions.
The day and age we live in.
Exactly.
Social media can influence you to do anything.
Important news like this. So I got this from the Action Network. Brett McMurphy reported on this. Those are his words. I read off to you, not my own. Like Clay, I'm going to be really light spoken because I don't know what's truly about it. But if what they say in this article is true, it leaves NCAA to make some kind of allegation, some action. Some of the quotes that a source said that these were some egregious actions taken by the football program. Then are they really reporting everything? Because what they say they did does not sound that egregious to me.
Again, just so much.
It's just so much that we don't know.
This came out today.
And here's the other thing: the NCAA never comments on an undergoing investigation.
Of course not.
I sent this picture to Dak or our group chat at like 12:30.
And I sent back Rut-Row
So I mean, this is literally like breaking news
right
honestly.
before we record.
So, but again, I'm sure we'll cover it more down the road. But right now, it's just now unfolding. So we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, completely agreed. And I just think that's the way you need to take on these kind of things. Yes, exactly. So go ahead and do your own research. And I'm very interested to see what the NCAA will do with this. And it could just come out as hogwash. We never know.
No doubt.
That's the most Southern thing I've ever said on this podcast.
Nice.
Hogwash.
Respect.
Ooh. I actually did come up with something magical in my head during the middle of this episode. After a very boring week.
I
had a great week.
This magic moment.
Must be nice.
All right, Eli, go and start.
I think y'all got it.
All right, Clay, you got it.
Okay, I had quite a few things happen to me this week. First off, I got this Phi hat.
It's a Phi hat.
I thought I was gonna have to order this. I found that it Hibbett's last minute.
Really?
Yes.
I was going to ask you about it.
Last minute, found it at Hibbett's in Muscle Shoals. Only had one left in my size. secured the bag.
Don't you miss lids?
Yes, I do. But the Hibbets and stuff are cheaper than lids are. Lids likes to run that price tag up.
Well, the best hat. Even though it's the same one.
Yeah, it's the same one. I started college today. That was pretty cool. And I have to say this was my magic moment, just from a personal standpoint. We all go to the same church, of course, and we had baptism Sunday, and I'm telling you, there ain't nothing that just fires me up more than watching somebody get baptized. That's just how I am. And I know we joke around it's on this podcast, but on a more serious note, that was definitely the best thing that I saw this week, without a doubt.
Yeah. I got to be a part of that. That was really fun.
Yeah, now that Clay said that, I mean, yeah. I didn't get to see much because I was working it and giving out the T-shirts and stuff. But, Dax, you know what my magic moment is.
What?
It's not even just a certain game. Me and you, have played 27 games of pool.
We have played 27 games of pool.
That's probably sad. I probably shouldn't have said that.
So, me and Eli started working at our church as interns. And so they gave us keys.
Bad decision on their part, because we are wearing the pool table out.
Yeah, we've played pool probably every night since we've gotten to
student building. We've been up there
keys,
a ton.
A big detail about the baptism, though, is Dax actually held the microphone over the water.
So which is a dangerous job.
Dax drops the microphone
Game over.
into the baptism. I don't even know what you would call that. It was like a, what would you call
trough.
it? Trough. I mean, that has potential to be an absolute disaster.
So I made the joke.
Don't.
And this is me being me. I look over at Ishmael, who's our college pastor, and the guy, I guess we're directly under his interns. I'm the college intern.
We are.
So I look at Ish, I'm like, first day, and y'all have given me the job of life and death right here.
I mean,
if I drop that microphone, it's an electrocution party. That's what it is.
And then I see on the TV, because I'm in the front handing out the T-shirts to all these people. I see Dax like trying to clap with the microphone. That was funny because he's got the microphone on one.
Well, because you can't be like you can't. You know, I've learned.
It's so funny.
What a lot of people don't know. I was a kids director out in Oklahoma, and so like I've preached some and whatnot. And that microphone, if you hit it, it's gonna make some noise.
I know. I was watching.
So like I didn't want to like turn it off and turn it back on because that takes a lot of magic there. And then like the hard part too is like you're having to bend your knee down in that water every time.
Yeah.
I'm not very good with the microphone either, as y'all know. At the hangout, whenever I yelled, "Is this thing on?"
Hey, is this thing on?
Right in the middle of the song.
And then they
cut us off. Never let us sing
it off.
Cut Clay's mic off.
I was just trying to get some assurance that my mic was working, and then
you got plenty.
It was working, but they made sure to not let it work anymore.
All found out your mic worked. But mine, playing pool Dax has been fun, and I beat you yesterday for lunch. So
good for you.
You know, you'll probably get that back sometime. But
what we got, Dax?
That's a great magic moment from Clay. That's been fun as well. I think mine's gonna be a little bit more simpler. I'm just really excited. Madden 22 is coming out this week.
Hey.
So that's gonna be my magic moment. I purchased it yesterday. It's downloaded on that TV back there. It's sitting there waiting. It's got a counter. 1 day, 9 hours, and 34 minutes.
Let's go.
Madden 20 was like probably one of the most fun I've ever had playing video games.
Yes.
And then I hated Madden 21.
I agree.
So
rebounds. Time to bounce back.
It's time to hit a little reset button. So I'm excited for that as well. But I don't have a PS5, so I wish you had Akon's music to play for me because I don't have a PS5, but it's okay.
Boo!
That's not Akon. What is that?
We could boo not having a PS5.
Hopefully I get one. I don't know. I'm never.
They're hard to find. They're more elusive than like.
They are very difficult.
Yeah, and then you find them and you realize how hard they are on the wallet. So double whammy right there.
It's hard to find one regular priced.
And then this guy right here in front of me.
Eli, his is a glorified dust collector.
He just gets one in the mail out of nowhere. He's like one of the first ones to ever have one.
I use my PlayStation every single day.
That is the most
to watch Hulu.
or hey, to collect the dust from your ceiling.
It is dusty. That's terrible.
Dude,
I wiped it off.
I'm no offense to people out there that play video games.
I know.
Yours is just disrespectful to
I apologize to them.
I also got back in MLB The Show 21, and I'm telling you, there's not a more frustrating video game than MLB The Show.
Dude, I can actually. All right, you want to play this little game right now? Most frustrating video game.
MLB The Show 21.
Because there's not
not hard.
Usually our podcasts are an hour long. We're at 49 minutes in right now. Because there ain't nothing going on sports-wise.
Not a thing.
And we've already done top fives and hot in here's this week, which y'all love the most.
Yeah, we talked more about college football than we ever do.
And let's discuss hold the line here too. I lost. Y'all won. Y'all played it perfectly. We talked about it.
They did.
We talked about it before when we put them out. it's always dangerous to pick a Braves game because we always know y'all can go with the Braves. But I knew that if I could at least get one on you, it could be going opposite of the Braves. And that's the only reason I picked the Marlins. That and Brax Garrett playing for the Marlins. No more comments on that situation. But, so we have
Stuff.
look, it's just truth what it is.
Okay, good.
It was a baseball game. So I tried picking the Marlins to try to get a game up on y'all. Clay, you're just dying.
So funny. I was waiting for you to say something.
I mean,
That's tough.
there's the nicest one.
Hey, it happens.
It happens to everybody. I mean, look, here's the deal. I had this conversation with someone last night. The MLB, baseball in general, it's a huge jump from middle school to JV, JV to high school to college, and I would argue, and even within college, SEC to ACC, SEC to Big Ten. Baseball is the hardest sport. College to the MLB.
Well, really to the minors. And
A to AA to AAA. They're all huge jumps. That's why it's the hardest to make it. And so if you can even pitch on the MLB level, hit on the MLB level one time, I have more respect for you than in some sports where it's just, I mean, anybody sometimes can get into that pro league. Yeah. And so that's where my whole thing of like, you make it to MLB, it takes a while to get, it takes consistent reps in MLB to get used to an MLB batter.
It doesn't help. There's like 165 rounds in the MLB draft, so it seems like there's like
exactly
5,000 new faces in the league.
And so I have complete respect to anybody who even makes it to the pro level on any level, especially in baseball, because I think it's the hardest sport to make it in. Maybe golf being there right there too, just because they're hard as well to make it because there's so many levels. But back to that. I lost. Punishment's coming. Double punishment for me.
Double punishment.
We will be taking a hiatus from Hold the Line
until
football season, just because, I mean, unless you want us to pick G League games and what else is there? I mean,
about it.
Baseball.
3 MLB games.
Women's league,
whatever.
Croquet or we can go out to the local golf course and play golf matches for Hold the Line games, I guess. I know I'm winning every time. But so that's that. So I will be getting bleached blonde hair and
that's tough.
That is tough.
And some pie to my face with a little bit of an ice bucket
double
challenge.
whammy.
And fun fact, we're glad to announce too with a partner that we've dealt with. I'm not going to announce the partner's name. They are going to donate the money off that ALS ice bucket challenge, and we're going to donate that to Mac Brown's charity.
Yes, we are, Mac.
As well. So shout out to Mac Brown, who we've had on the podcast before.
Absolutely. We're
going to be sharing that to his awesome lemonade stand fund into the honor of ALS research with that ice bucket challenge too. So that's a cool thing. We get to partner up with people that we've had on the show before.
No doubt.
Looking forward to that. Back to the video game topic. PGA 2K21.
I just don't know about
that
golf.
game makes me want to throw a controller.
I can imagine that golf is frustrating.
I think I know.
I'm just telling you, there's nothing that irks me more than getting a perfect hit in MLB The Show and lining out to the left fielder. Because I do it at least twice a game, and it drives me insane.
Okay, well, can we also throw this one in there? If you've ever played it, and this is more like John Michael and Blake, and Ebb and those guys. Cochran, you know this one too. Nick Griffith. Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Pod racing.
Oh, yeah, that is hard.
That is make you want to throw your controller. You want to take the console, chuck it. That and if you ever do double player, Mustafar level when you're trying to make it out of the lava area to the big tower to fight each other.
Yeah.
That one's hard too if you play double. That they got to points times where Zach and Nick all had this thing. Me and Zach and Nick would all do this thing like where we would, and I did it with both of them, that we'd try to complete that game in the lowest amount of time possible. All the sagas. That got to the point where you're like arguing with each other. All right, you drop out and let me do it by myself.
Yeah, video games are supposed to be like
I think I know mine.
Okay, what's yours?
And it was a popular game for maybe 2 weeks. Fall Guys.
That game was you gave me some
That was the most
piss me off.
frustrating game.
Dude, you'd get at the finish line and you would be the next one and it would turn off and you didn't make the top 50. You didn't make the finish line. No, the worst was little hexagon game.
Right, yes.
And you would be at the top, and everybody would be below you, and you would fall once, and you would just keep falling, and you wouldn't hit another hexagon.
Fall Guys.
And the people would just run around, take that dude.
Shall I say anything else? Fall Guys is the
that game was very frustrating.
most frustrating game.
Grab the tail was.
Oh, well, you need to play.
I missed. That was fun.
That was fun.
I guess we go have to start streaming Fall Guys.
We might just have to. We might have to create a gaming channel.
Hey.
All the big YouTubers did that, which we are, so we should do that. What are we looking at, Dax? A couple million subscribed?
Well, you know,
That's
on the podcasting side of things.
Oh, yeah. My phone.
Speaking of, T-shirts come out. The T-shirt came here today.
Let's go.
FedEx has been sending me some notifications.
Are they close?
They're close. I hadn't checked them in a couple hours.
Let's go.
I hope they're at the front door whenever we get done.
Me too.
Me too. I'd love to rep one of my own
I swear.
shirts.
Hashtag merch drop.
I do. I still only have the one exclusive hat. But let's just go ahead and give you another merch drop. We don't have your official date for you yet, but you asked for it. We already actually asked for more than shirts.
Yeah, a lot
Hats
of
and hoodies are coming.
Can't
Hats
wait to
and
rep my
hoodies
own
are
hoodie
coming.
in the fall.
The hat will not be like the MLB hat. It'll be more of a dad cap style that Eli's got going on right now. Now, I pointed in the studio to these guys. What you just watched were me pointing to each other on the opposite end. Sorry about that. But it'll be more of a dad style cap. And the hoodies are going to be fine too. Or it might be a sweatshirt. I hadn't really decided yet.
Yeah.
Or we hadn't decided yet.
I vote hoodie. Big hoodie guy.
Maybe we should let them vote.
Let the people vote.
Maybe we'll let y'all
What are we
vote.
doing?
But that date will come. We'll let that happen closer to time. So look for my punishment this weekend. That will happen. Lord bless. I don't know. I've got to go get my second shot of the COVID vaccine. So I may be out. I may be out this weekend, boys.
Let's go play some pool, Dax.
Wait, I'm sure we will. Any parting thoughts, boys?
We'll have more information on our Madden 22 reviews.
Absolutely.
I guess I'll come over here and play because
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy it on a PS4.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah. We got a little hangout area over there.
Yeah,
can
we
hang
do.
out.
We do. We have a little post-production studio
No doubt.
action
All
out
we
there.
need is some football. That's what it's waiting on.
We're
Oh
just-
yes,
we're
and
just sitting here
if you are in charge of a restaurant that has wings, we are looking for a Sunday night sponsor.
Yes,
we will
we
give
are.
you a sponsorship on this show
Yeah.
just for free wings on Sunday night.
We need to get on that. Contact people.
Please, B-dubs if you're listening, which we know
We'll
you
do
are,
it. Yeah,
or
of course,
Wingstop, we know you're listening too. But until next time.
Peace out.